Hello, I'm Sarah Hagan, and this is WVVH Hamptons Television. WVVH is a proud sponsor of the Montauk Artists Association. Today we will be visiting the Montauk Village Green. In support of the association, there will be over 60 vendors turning out to showcase their work. With Ann Weissman, who is the event director for the 13th annual
Show on the Green.
Show on the Green, that's right.
The Montauk Show on the Green.
Tell us a little bit about...
It's a photograph, and it is of the Montauk Lighthouse, and the committee, the general come and go at the gallery, chose it out of 5 other photographs and paintings to be on the cover of the program for the Montauk Fine Art Show.
And you, in fact, took this photo.
And I took the photo as part of the digital camera class last year.
Okay.
Which is taught by Bruce Lieberman, who is the head of the art department, or works in the art department at East Hampton High School.
So tell me, is this something that the association also does? Besides putting on this event, you guys offer classes? We have classes
for adults, and we have free classes for children. It's part of our outreach program. Okay. Originally, it was funded by the Avery Foundation, and that lasted for quite a few years, and now we fund it ourselves because we have enough money to do so, which is very comfortable.
That's what you can do when you establish yourself.
Well, this is my job. I am the fundraising director and treasurer of this wonderful organization that's full of terrific people who have a wonderful time.
Now, how does one become a member in this?
You pay me $35 and you're a member.
Got it. Well, that's easy. That's easy enough. And they can get the application on your website?
You can get the application on our website, which is www.montaukartistassociation.org.
And how do you participate in this actual event?
Just trot in there and give Selena the $35, and you can put up your work in the member tent. The other people here have paid.
They have their own booths and a whole section.
And they have paid for the privilege of being here. And that's $200 a square, which is 12 by 12 feet.
And I understand that these people, some are from China, some are from France.
And we have an Israeli gentleman that's here who the last time I was up at his booth was busy selling a painting.
Oh, good.
And we'll visit him in a minute.
Good, terrific. Well, thank you so much for your time, and this is a wonderful event. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
And so am I. I'm glad we survived the morning.
I know, it was a little windy.
Blowout this morning.
Thank you so much. I'm here with Gilles from Quebec. He has quite the interesting story. He actually rode his bicycle from Quebec down to Montauk, which is very interesting. How long did this ride take you?
Well, actually, I didn't drive to Montauk, to be honest, because I was short of time, because I have a few adventures on the way, you know. But like I like adventures, I took it as a, I don't know, I just took it as pleasure, you know.
Yes.
And so, but I drove my bike up to Burlington, and from Burlington to be here on time, I put my bike in a box very fast because the bus was coming. It was crazy. And I put it to New York. When I ride to New York at 5 o'clock in the morning, I have to take the bike out beside the bus and put everything together.
Yes,
but
okay.
without sleep, it was funny. But it took me an hour. And then I got out of Port Authority, you know, and to be just by Broadway was great. So I took another portrait, you know, I just drove my bike to...
I was just going to ask you if you took any portraits, because that is the field that you're working in, is photography. Did you take any photos along the way through your travels?
Sure, I did. Oh, yeah, I did. I mean, because, you know, photography is something about magic moments. So you go, especially in bicycle, you see all kind of stuff, you know, and then you can stop. You know, it's easy. It's not, you know,
yes,
you ride,
it's very simple.
Very simple. So you stop. Yeah, I took pictures on the way. Hopefully they turn good. Well, you know.
If not, it's about the adventure and the experience, and you'll have them to remember. Now, how did you hear? You are in fact a member of the Montauk Artists Association. How did you hear about this association?
Well, I came here last Easter with a friend of mine Bonnie Lee Saunders, who had to been interviewed in Gurney's Inn here about his husband, Arthur Shimkin.
Yes.
And I accompanied her here. I discovered the place. I love it. We stayed around for a couple of days, and then we went back to New York. And then I wanted to come back to New York for work in August, and she told me there was this show here. So I applied, and they kind of accept me.
They liked your work, so they let you in.
They let me in, you know, but I'm actually out, but I'm in, out and in, you know.
Yes, on the border.
Yeah,
Now, tell me,
outsider.
do you only do photography, or have you had other things exhibited? Strictly photography, no other medium.
I'm also a Kodak driver, like my friend.
Oh, okay.
Gregoire here, you
Okay.
know. I'm a Kodak driver, cameraman, but yeah, I mean, but I do pictures.
Okay.
As that's my goal. I mean, that's the best I can do is taking pictures.
It's
you know.
great. Photography is very beautiful. Well, thank you so much for participating in this event.
Thanks
and
to you.
I'm happy we got to talk, and your adventure is quite interesting.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
I'm here with Archie Hahn, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his work today at this event. He has a phenomenal piece behind me, which is a horse, I believe, walking along the coast, and it has beautiful texture. Can you tell us a little bit about your painting?
Actually, this scene from Southampton.
Oh.
You know, the beach, you know, go with the horse. I saw that. Then get the sketch. Then go back to studio to.
Okay.
You know.
So you actually had a horse walking the beach that you saw, or you placed it there?
You know, yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
But you know, they move very quick. They're gone. You know.
Yes.
I just you know, from memory, then
Yeah.
I get the.
So then you worked and you made a sketch of it, and then from your
Yeah,
sketch you worked up to your painting. It's
Yes.
phenomenal. So tell me about the colors that you've chosen for this piece.
This piece, I use a lot of petal knife. You know, knife.
Okay.
The sky, you know, the clouds.
The palette knife.
Yeah,
This is.
palette knife. Yeah. Even in the horse self, you know.
Yes.
Make it strong. You know.
It's beautiful. Have you participated in this event in previous years, or is this your first year here?
I'll be here many years. Maybe it's eight years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And how is it going this year? Is the crowd really
yeah.
turning out well?
Yeah, this year actually good. But this morning, you know, television happened. A lot of TED just gone. You
Yes,
know.
yes.
We are very busy.
Terrific.
Yeah, we set up last night, but this morning we broke it down. Then set again. So
It's hard. It's been very windy. It's hard. We're out here in Montauk. You never know what the weather's going to do on the eastern end of Long Island. We also have this beautiful orchid, I believe, over here. Can you tell me a little bit about that piece?
This just still life. You know, many
Still
people
life.
like still life.
Yes.
Yeah, I love painting.
And that's terrific. The backdrop is very unique. And those colors you've chose, was that, tell me a little bit about it.
You know, it's a color just to make it not all stuff a little bit soft, you know, not like this one very strong. You know.
To soften it up and make it not as contrasting. Phenomenal. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm
Okay,
happy
thank
you're
you.
back here. Your
Thank
stuff is
you.
very creative. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm here with Barbara. She's from Montauk, and she's going to be telling us a little bit about her artwork here. Do you always work in this medium?
Yeah, these are all acrylic paintings.
All acrylic, okay. And you grew up as an artist, or you went to...
I did not. I've done a lot of things. I was a massage therapist for 18 years, and to make the story short, 2.5 years ago I got married and moved to Montauk.
Okay.
And started painting the house, painting the floor, painting the furniture, and my husband said, why don't you, take some
Yeah.
art classes and paint on canvas. So
Yeah.
I really started these 2.5 years ago.
Where did you study for the art classes?
I took my first class at a place in Riverhead, and now I study with an art teacher, private lessons.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Over in Montauk as well? Or
Montauk, yeah.
it's a great spot to paint. I'm sure that you do a lot of landscapes. I see a lot of the ocean. Are
these are all Montauk.
Is this done over in Montauk? Okay.
Yep.
And when you're painting these landscapes, do you work from a photograph, or do you use a sketch, or do you sit in the landscape itself?
I like to go out there and start, and get the colors down and get an idea of what I'm doing, take a snapshot of it, and then I usually work at home.
That's great. That's very, very interesting. Well, thank you so much for your time. Your
Thank
work is
you.
beautiful.
Nice to meet you.
I'm here with Isabel. She is a instructor. She does private lessons with the painting, and she's going to be telling us a little bit about her favorite pieces here in her booth.
Oh, I'm very happy to be here at Montauk, and my favorite pieces are the vineyards. I like them the best, and the boat paintings, like this one.
Yes. Now you were saying you do the vineyards especially because on the North Fork the land is still very rural, and that's what you have to work from, is really the vineyards.
Right, and they're beautiful because if it wasn't for the vineyards, we would be all housing now. So
Yes.
I look at them as a way of preserving, the natural beauty of that,
Yes,
that
yes.
area.
Now I noticed this piece behind us here. This is a scene. Is it during the winter time?
No, it's sunset.
It's a sunset, so that's what the colors. Okay.
So it does look a little like snow, but
It's very different. Well, I think that the ocean is a very beautiful. The dunes are always very beautiful when they're covered in snow, and that's kind of my perspective on it. It's very interesting. How did you hear about this whole event at Montauk Green?
I've been coming to the show ever since they started. I kind of randomly came upon it, and it's my favorite show of the year. It's always beautiful. It's very interesting, a lot of people coming and going, and it's just a beautiful place to be.
Yes. Now we know you do the private instruction, but do you have a gallery as well?
I show in several local galleries. I show in Cecily's Loveland Gallery in Mattituck primarily, and the Eastern Arts Council in Riverhead. And although I do instruction, most of my work is by commission. And you can look at that on my website is IHL.com.
Okay, great.
And for my initials, Isabel Haran Leonardi.
Okay, great. So they can reach you there if they want to get in touch with any of your work. It is beautiful. And we thank you for being here because this is a great way to bring the community together. I'm here with Jim Crawford from Tampa, Florida. He's all the way up here in Montauk, New York, which is a far trip. What brought you all this way?
I went to college at Southampton College long ago, and I like coming out here, and Montauk's beautiful, so
Yes.
it's worth coming up to.
Yes.
to
Have
vacation.
you participated in this with this association for many years now? Or
2 years before, twice. So
how did you get involved in it? How did you hear about it?
just talking to people, some friends that do shows around New York. They recommended it, and so I finally decided to go ahead and do it.
It's not a bad place to come out and work for a few days and, enjoy Montauk. That's lovely. So I see we have mostly bronze sculptures here. Do you work mostly with organic, types of sculptures, or what's your specialty?
Marine biology is
Okay.
what I study, and so most of my sculptures are marine life. I'm a scuba diver and just lover of the sea. So.
Yeah, it really comes through with your work. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we really appreciate having you up here.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Edie Nathan, and I'm a ceramic artist. I do stories of myths on my pieces, and this particular myth is called Psyche and Eros. And he shoots her with an arrow, which means she falls in love with him. And then he must go to war, and she begs him not to go. She puts out her hand and says, "Don't go." But because he's a man, he must. So he goes off to war, and unfortunately he is killed by a big bear, and her tears turn the forests into flowers.
I'm here with Edie. She's a ceramic artist. She's going to be telling us a little bit about her work and how she got involved with the event here in Montauk.
I've been doing this event now for about 4 years, and I've been really lucky to get into this show considering that it's painters and photographers. But I've become very painterly on my work, and I think that's why they've given me this chance to be here.
The opportunity, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, you definitely do have a story with all of your pieces.
Yes.
And I think that will sell well here.
Oh, well, thank you. So, and the stories, the ancient stories were put onto ceramics
Yeah.
hundreds, thousands of years ago. That's how we learned about different cultures. And it's really taking that idea and reinstituting it back into the work.
How did you get into the ceramics? Did you start off with this type of work, or did you do paintings first?
No, none of that. I'm actually a psychotherapist in private practice, and I do women's groups, and I do myths with women trying to work out their stuff, and then realized I could put these myths onto the pieces, and that's how it all began.
That's beautiful. It all comes together.
It all comes together.
Well, thank you for being here today,
Well,
and
thank you so
your
much.
stuff has a beautiful
This
selection.
piece is done on a brown clay, and though there's not any kind of real story, it is indicative of some of the way that some tribal members make themselves up with lots of color. And the technique for this piece is that a colored wash is put onto the piece and then carved through it so that you can actually see the colored clay coming through. This is actually a piece out of, the story is out of India, and she is a goddess called Shiva, and Shiva is just about bringing in generosity and luck, and she's a very honored goddess in the Indian culture.
Where can everybody reach you to get in touch with you about your work?
I have a website, which is www.visioninclay.com.
I'm here with Elaine Thompson. She is a member of the Montauk Artists Association, and she has specialized here with the big duck and also with golf as a theme. Tell us a little bit about the work that you've done with the golf series.
Well, I was the U.S. Open artist at Shinnecock, the official United States Golf Association artist, and I also painted the Bethpage painting and Wingfoot, which was the recent New York State U.S. Open.
And you were telling me a little bit about the most recent one that you have done here is the lady golfer?
Yes, the lady golfer is at Timber Point, and the Great South Bay is in the background. That's in Great River, Long Island.
It's very nice.
And the model was my daughter.
She's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Tell me why you chose to focus on the big duck as your
Well,
next series.
I always wanted to paint the big duck, and after I got done painting a U.S. Open painting, which takes me 3 months, I painted the big duck painting in 2.5 days.
Well, that's
So
a piece
it
of
was a
cake
fun
then.
thing.
That's easy, yes. And now will you continue with a series of that, or?
Yes, I'm doing the Bull in Smithtown, and I'm going to be doing other Long Island landmarks.
That's
too.
great. That's great. Really tie in the local community. How did you hear about this event?
A friend of mine lives in Montauk.
Okay.
Gave me an application to come into the show.
Okay. And now, I'm sorry, is this your first year here?
This is my first show, yes.
And how is it going so far?
Well, it was very windy. A lot of tents came down this morning,
no.
and I usually do the show with my husband, but he had to deliver a car somewhere, so it's hard getting everything out of the cars. But now that the wind died down, it's wonderful. It's
And
gonna
you have this tent. We look supported. I think we'll be okay for the rest of the day.
Yes,
Hopefully the
yes.
wind dies down a little bit. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm here with a lovely family who is actually just observing today, hoping to find something nice to take home with them. Where are you guys from?
We're originally from Trumbull, Connecticut.
Okay, so this is kind of a long way from home. What brought you out here to Montauk?
We come out to Montauk every year. This is just a long weekend, and we just want to go to the art show.
That's great. That's great. And you've seen some photography that you've liked so
Love
far?
some of the photography. Yeah, we've seen some great stuff.
That's great. Are you guys having fun?
Yes.
Good.
Robert Berkey, he is a photographer who works with limited edition prints, and he's going to be telling us a little bit about his work. These pieces are all done locally here, correct?
These are done locally. I work strictly with digital photography these days. I started out teaching at Scarsdale High School, black and white, with film. But once I got into color, I realized I couldn't develop them myself, so I knew that a switch to digital was it. So
Would ultimately have to come, yes.
I worked my way up the ladder, and I have my own studio where I have complete control. I take the photos, I print the photos.
And I understand your sons, is it, do the matting for you?
My one son up in Massachusetts, Darren, yes, he's got a wonderful eye. He picks up all the color around them, and he does some really wonderful
Match them beautifully
work.
for you.
Oh,
So this is a dock down at Montauk Point, I'm
yes.
assuming?
Well, no, in the harbor. and the Marine Basin, and I do the same thing on foggy mornings. If it's foggy, I grab the camera and I go down to the dock and I pick up these because the water invariably is very, very still when there's fog, and I get the nice reflections. And then of course, there's a kind of luminosity about the light that is caused by the fog. I mean, each little fog particle apparently expands light, and so it really does the job.
So it takes a beautiful photograph.
It takes a beautiful photograph.
Now tell me, is this your first year participating in this event?
In this event, yes. Now we've owned in Montauk since '71. We've lived full time out here since '02.
But it took you a couple of years to get out here.
It took me a couple of years to join the Montauk Artists Association, and this is my first gambit with them, and I look forward to many more.
Now, what other advantages are there of being a member of the association?
Well, any association you get the advantage of seeing other people's work and speaking to them really intimately about their work, and vice versa, and so that you get the full dialogue of this whole thing. Plus, there are many social events, and for instance, there's a wonderful dinner tonight, and we'll be attending that. And
I heard about this dinner. It promises to be a good event. Here we have an interesting photograph, quite a different scene. Do you want to explain what exactly is going on in this photograph?
Well, this is down at the docks, and anyone who's been around the docks knows the Lazy Bones. Just one of the many boats that go out. Some of them half day. Lazy Bones is half day. Some of them go out for the full run. And this was actually taken on the day of the blessing of the fleet. We were down there, and we went out in boats, and the sky was a magnificent blue, and my eye was attracted to that leather fish, and so we took that. And I took the shot below, which is one of my favorite things to do between boats, these working boats, so that you can see the buckets on board. You get various colors. You get the ropes working, and it's almost like it gives you a composition in and of itself.
And the water is no longer still.
And the water is no longer still. It's very active, and you get a lot of ripply effect as far as the reflections go.
Yes, it's beautiful.
So thank you very much. I'm excited about these shots, and every chance I get, I'm down the dock with, or around the area.
In the ocean, absolutely. Now, if someone were to want to contact you to get in touch with you about these photographs, do you have a gallery or a website that they can get?
Well, I have a website. The website is http://BerkeyImages.com.
Wonderful. Well, I'm sure plenty of our viewers will be in touch. These are very elegant photographs.
Thank you.
I'm here with John Davis. He has a very unique collection here. It really incorporates family, culture, living style. He has some works that are focused on abroad from Kenya, and we have other pieces that are focused on our country here at home, North Carolina.
Absolutely.
So can you elaborate a little bit on the techniques that you've used and your paintings and drawings?
Sure. It's we are watercolorists, and how we create the work is we sketch them first, do about 7 sketches of the pieces, and then we watercolor. We find out the best one we like, and then we use that. And we kind of incorporate the matting as well with the piece.
I think that's my favorite part.
On the mat. It opens up the picture, gives the customer a nice look of the whole piece, and that's our signature piece in terms of paintings. But a lot of stuff is from Kenya, which we visit, and we love the Maasai tribe from Kenya, and also the other part from the southern, which is Savannah, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina.
On the side over here.
Those type of pieces. And all our frames are handmade, which is we used various types of wood, teak, oak, cherry, and walnut, maple, and everything is done by hand. So we have fun with it.
Now, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Bermuda.
Oh, from Bermuda.
Yeah. And my partner, myself, now stay in Morristown, New Jersey.
New Jersey. And how did you hear about the event out here?
We are in a magazine, and we thought it would be interesting to come to the Hamptons, have a visit,
yes,
have a fun day, and show some artwork.
Yes, and has it been a pleasant afternoon so far?
It's been very nice, yeah.
Good.
The winds have been a little high, but that's okay. That's part of
yes,
Long
that's
Island.
part of Long Island. And I understand this is a 2-day event, so
That's
hopefully
correct.
tomorrow is
So
beautiful.
tomorrow we'll be here, and we'll be glad to work with anyone that would like to put our piece in their house. Come
Yes.
on down.
Yes, absolutely. And if anyone would like to contact you after the show,
Yeah.
do you have a website or a
I have
gallery?
a website, and which is davisartproject@yahoo.com, or Davis, that's my email, and davisartproject.com is my website.
Wonderful. I'm sure lots of our viewers will be in touch. You have a fabulous collection here.
Thanks.
So thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm here with Barry Cohen, who has a very unique display here at the art show this year. It is an acrylic sculpting booth. Now, can you tell us a little bit about this process? I am not exactly familiar with it.
Sure. My sculpture starts out, in this particular case, as a 4-foot by 8-foot. It's a 3-inch block of acrylic lucite. Then I'll cut this on a bandsaw to the size and shape that you see. Now, because of the thickness of the sculpture, gives me the ability to bevel cut it. And when I bevel cut it like this, it gives elegance and dimension from the side to the front, okay, which increases the uniqueness of it. All the cracking that's done on the top, okay, is done using a hammer and chisel.
So it's very hands-on.
Correct. All hands-on.
All hands-on.
All hands-on. Here's my front to the back. Take a dental instrument, and I'll carve into the acrylic with a dental drill. Now, because of the thickness of it, gives me the ability to go into it real deep. And the deeper I can go into this, the more dimensional it gets from the back, bringing the images closer to the front. Then I'll take a masking paper, and I cover up the entire back of it, and with a scalpel knife, open up the carvings only, and I shoot it with sand. By incorporating sand into it, what it then does, it gives a textured, smooth look.
Interesting.
And now it's ready for me to hand paint. So how we see the colors here in the back to what it looks like and how different it looks.
So you really just apply it to the surface in the back. You don't have to inject it or anything. It's just applied and then it shows through the front. That's very, very unique.
So it's, and again, it's all carved into it from the back, the sides, and even from that bottom up. And that's how my acrylic sculptures are done.
That's terrific. Have you always worked with this?
Grew up in the business. Yes.
Your father or?
My dad, and what he did was he did functional pieces in acrylic. Napkin holders, paper towel holders, ice buckets. I took it to a whole new dimension.
Have you tested out the waters of what your father did, or you just like?
Oh yeah, that's how I started out also too.
Okay.
I started out from there. It was through my son's love of marine life, kind of his passion took me to the level where I'm at right now.
Now, do you have a gallery or a website that people can find your works at?
My website would be www.uniqueacrylicsculptures.com, and I'm in the Weiland Art Gallery, who's one of the leading marine artists in the country.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much for your time. It really is a unique booth, and we appreciate you being here. I'm here with Peter Cohen, who does an abstract yet recognizable art. What is the correct title?
It's abstract to the point of recognition. I'm a photo artist. This is all original photography.
Okay, very interesting. And I see that you have a unique matting system.
Yes, it's a mounting style I call a 3D mount. I bring the images out from behind the glass and bring more three-dimensional visual, perspective to the two-dimensional medium.
That's wonderful. Have you always worked in this medium, or is this a new?
Yes, I've always 35 years.
Okay, great. So you're a pro by now. Is there a website that we can reach you at, or do you have a local gallery?
It's www.explodingeye.com.
Terrific. And where are you originally from? Where is your work?
Toms River, New Jersey.
New Jersey. Wonderful. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.